After spending over £3 billion in the transfer window, it's time to see if money really can buy you the league. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Manager 2019, part 2 of the Sugar Daddy Challenge. And today we kick off our season against Newcastle United in the Premier League. So let's get straight to it. And this is the team that we're sending out in the first game of the season to try and absolutely dominate English football. So we're going with Oblak in goal, a back four of Alaba, Varane, Ramos and Kimmich, Matuidi and Modric in midfield, Insigne, Dybala, Sancho, all in behind, Luis Suarez up front, and let's kick this off the right way. Not sure as to why we're both playing in black and white, but there you are. So we're without Bale, we're without Messi for this first game of the season, both picking up knocks, but I'm fairly confident in Insigne, Dybala and Sancho taking their place. Neymar drops down to the bench as he is. He's a little bit injured, but not massively. But we don't want to risk him injuring himself even more. I expect nothing but a win from this match. And it's going to be interesting to see how quickly these players gel together. Special a day, blah, 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 blah. Because obviously having all these players are great, but if they don't work well together, then it's not going to be fun for anyone. Replay events, only goals. There we are. But yeah, so there's a little bit of a clash of kits in this first match against Newcastle, but the stripes and then the pure white, it is bearable, but it's still not ideal. So it's going to be interesting. And then straight away, 3 minutes in, Paulo Dybala makes it 1-0. And I was just about to say it's going to be interesting to see how quickly this bunch of world-class players can set themselves in the right tone for the season. And it's 3 minutes in, Dybala beating 2 men and putting it into the top corner. A class finish there by Paulo Dybala. Obviously, I don't think he's going to get as much game time as other players on this team. Obviously, he's got to compete with players like Messi and Bale for his position at cam and attacking midfield right. It's not exactly two easy players to compete with. Bale's obviously not been in greatest form in recent years, but he's still Gareth Bale at the end of the day. He can just turn it on when he needs to. But 37 minutes into this match, Varane's picked up a bit of a knock. We'll probably bring him off at half-time just to make sure he doesn't cause himself a massive injury. Still 1-0, but it's been an absolute dominant performance. 13 shots to their 1. And half-time, that's a great first half. Just tell them to don't get complacent out there. We've all gained focus. And it's not a bad sub, is it? Thiago Silva on for Rafael Varane. And he can do cover, so that's exactly what he's going to do. Elite centre-back for elite centre-back. Not a bad substitution at all to be able to make it half-time. So it's just about setting a tone now for this season. And we're on the attack here. It's just about if we can get it into the box, which we have. And Lorenzo Insigne, not Lorenzi, is there and makes it 2-0. And it was a great bit of build-up, just passing it around Newcastle like they weren't even there, and a fantastic cross into Insigne. First time half volley, puts it in the back of the net and just opening up Newcastle once again. And it's just about setting the tone, like I've said 3 times already. Obviously, first game of the season, it's hard to talk about player performances and things like that because we are obviously just at the beginning's end of the season. But Dybala now finds Jadon Sancho, and that's a class finish there. into the top corner, 3-0. And scoring 3 goals without even seeing anything of Luis Suarez. But that's not always a bad thing. We know that Suarez can just score when he's needed. But having 3 players who can all play in behind him and still score goals is not a bad thing. So not to complain about at all. So we're actually going to bring off Suarez for now for Timo Werner. Pressing forward, that's what I like. And take off Luka Modric for Verratti. Make him an attacking playmaker. There we are. 15 minutes left now then. And it's just about seeing the game out. We've definitely got the first match victory of the season. If I can actually speak English, that was a great sentence. It's just about trying to keep a clean sheet here. Trying to prove that we are a dominant going forward and dominant defending as well. Matuidi with a great challenge there. And now it's through to Timo Werner, but it's a great save from the Newcastle goalkeeper, denying Werner a goal on his debut. And just drop some praise on them, tell them they've played well. 3 minutes left now, and hopefully should be the last highlight of the game. Just about seeing it out. Sancho and Verratti in the middle. Matuidi now finds Insigne from range. Almost finding that top corner. But just denied. And it's a big kick up the field by the Newcastle goalkeeper. Emsworth on the attack once again. A very interesting pass from Werner there. But nonetheless, referee blows for full time. 3-0 to Emsworth. And a dominating first game of the season. Very happy with the way you played. And that's how you start the season. But top of the table, first game. Now let's go play Burnley. Right then. This is the team that we're putting out to play Burnley in the second game of the season. Fairly rotated, but still a very strong team. We've got Donnarumma in goal. A back four of Alexandro, Thiago Silva, Rugani and Roberto. Verratti and Thiago in midfield. Neymar, Oscar, Dybala, all in behind. Luis Suarez up front. Let's get into this. So, it's second game of the season. And the at the top of the table in a minute is Arsenal, having just beaten Manchester United on 4 points. I think if we win today, we'll be the only team that has actually won both games so far, I think. Don't quote me on it. I want you to pick up exactly where you left off from last game. Just obviously in the middle of all that, we were just signing some new coaches for the under-23s and under-18s. Essentially stealing all of Manchester United's coaches, so they don't have any for themselves, so they have to go and sign some less good ones. It's all about taking clubs apart from the inside, you know. 20 minutes in, it's been a very different game compared to when we played to Newcastle, as we went 1-0 up within 3 minutes in that game. But Burnley seeming a much more difficult side, that's for sure. Who are on the attack here? Donnarumma with a fantastic save to keep it at 0-0. The corner now, if I can actually get the terms right. The highlight just drifts away. Been a very closer match, a more even match, so like I said, some great English going on in this video. But 8 shots so far in 45 minutes, but only 1 on target, 4 on target for Burnley. We need to get ourselves into some gear here, actually get playing like the team we know we are. Far from pleased on what I just saw. Tell them to get out there and do better. Alexandro now. Yeah, so obviously being able to rotate from Rugani and Thiago Silva back to Varane and Sergio Ramos isn't a bad swap, in my opinion. Dybala there, going close with the free kick. Also the same with obviously Neymar in for Insigne, who picked up a bit of a knock. We've got a lot of injured players at the minute. One of the only problems with having a small squad is that the more to get injured, the more that we have to make subs. Right, okay, so Suarez has had another quiet game, so he can come off. We're going to put Dybala there, and we're going to bring on Messi on the right hand side, and hopefully they can get something going. Obviously, Messi coming on for his debut for Emsworth, still a bit injured. Sergio Roberto looking a bit exhausted out there, but I'm sure he can last the extra 5 minutes. Well, it's been a bit of a dead game actually. Going to bring on Bale for the last couple of minutes for Neymar, who's also been a bit quiet. Just a bit of a shame that... oh, and I take it back. I was just about to say, a bit of a shame that Burnley have managed to hold on for the whole of the 90 minutes. But Bale scoring in the 92nd and making it 1-0. I suppose that's what we brought him to do. Very much reminiscent of what he did for Real Madrid in the Champions League final. But and I think that, there we go, that got the win for us. Thank you very much, Gareth Bale. 1-0. And we definitely deserve to win that game, but we need to let them know that was a bit of a let-off. But Gareth Bale doing us a solid there. And I think that puts us top of the table. Yes, it does. At the minute, top of the table. And now we just need to see when we're coming back. So we've got Charlton in the Carabao Cup. That should be a fairly simple match. We don't want to go too far in the forward. Too far in the forward, great send it. Too far in the future. I think we'll come back for Tottenham, Leicester. And yes, so we'll come back for Tottenham and then we'll play Leicester as well. So that'll be next video. But thank you very much for watching and I'll see you again soon.